Mr. Chairman, where we kind of segued back into some of my concerns. So I think I have a couple questions for you, Director Selig. And on this issue, again, it's now we're back on the issue that was discussed, I guess, the last meeting that we had. You had stated that some of the reasons that there were problems with specifications had been changed by the federal government.
Yes.
Would you mind producing for me a document that shows me what specifications they actually changed?
Yes.
Because that would be helpful, so I appreciate that. Do you happen to remember any of the change requests that they asked of you that you could bring before us?
Yes, I can't, I don't know that I can give you the technical details, but for example, the way that they were sending clients to us, they changed the way they were sending it. That caused us to rewrite our software in order to accept those, just as an example. But there are, I believe, 980 rules that they put out as we've been developing this on how the system's going to work. But I can get you a list, a summary of what those changes are.
And I want to make sure I heard correctly just earlier. Did you say that you're now even looking at possibly not going forward with this whole model that has been discussed?
Yeah, what the governor has asked, and I think at the recommendation of Information Systems, Department of Information Systems, is that we get an outside review of the entire system and say, are we headed on the right path, just to make sure that this is the right investment, that we've got the right tools in place.
Well, I'm going to close, I'm not going to go to the other question, Mr. Chairman, and I'm going to use I think I'll use an analogy and try not to make everybody mad using it. But we had recently a public servant who had done some things they shouldn't have done, took some money they shouldn't have taken, and that's already been taken care of. But that particular person was held accountable for what they did personally. They didn't lose $100 million of taxpayer funds. But we are nearly at the point where it seems that that's almost the way it feels here. And we did lose $32 million, which was the contract you said that $32 million was paid and they were fired. And so I want to emphasize how important and critical this is to us. And I had asked you the other day if you would just help us figure out what the problem is, because somebody didn't do their job. And I feel like it's the only right thing to do is be accountable here. And we want this to be fixed, we want it to be done right. But you know what? We don't want the same people that were managing this that lost $32 million and we're now tracking towards $100 million to be the same people that's watching it now. And some of the people that have contacted me, I had never known these people before, but they used to work over there. And they said when they asked the proper questions, they were booted out. And they told me that one of the biggest problems is that the vendors that you have coming in, you have nobody on your team that knows what to even ask him to do and how to monitor that situation. And so they basically describe this to me as vendors that go around the nation, and when you fire one vendor, then the next one of their buddies picks up and carries on, and it continues this process over and over and over. And so you're here sitting in front of us saying, we've spent $100 million, we still don't have it fixed. They pretty much laid it out in pretty plain detail for me. So I'm just telling you, we've got to get some answers to this.
I think, again, if we're going to get into personnel issues and so on, we got another committee for that. Representative Ferrari.